It has been such a long time since my last Iron Man themed video, so I thought it was time. The last time that you saw my Iron Man armor was back in autumn, and since then I've upgraded a ton of things, but it still is not finished. I split the work into two larger projects, one being dedicated to the arc reactor and the weapon systems, which as you can see I've finished, and this is what I'm going to show you today. And another part is for the electronics, which is still not ready. You're gonna have to give me a few more weeks, but it's gonna be awesome, I promise you. So let's see what I've made here. I have a new hydrogen generator, which will be the arc reactor of my suit. This will take water and transform it into a combustible gas, which is going to be used to power the repulsor and the rocket launcher of the suit. We are going to have two of each, one for each hand. So first, let me show you a little bit about this hydrogen generator. For the hydrogen generator, this is an improved version of the last one that I showed you. And this is why I'm going to have the last one as an example of what you have inside the new one and what you need in case you want to make your own. So first, the bottom plate. There was made out of plexiglass and a plate of steel. Now we only have the steel plate, to which I can weld the connections for the hoses, and this means stronger bonds and can hold much more pressure than the last one. Moving on, we have the plates and the rubber gaskets. The rubber gaskets are made by hand from a large rubber sheet, and on top of each one come alternated steel sheets, positive and negative, so we have the best contact to form as much gas as needed. And this is basically the base of every hydrogen generator. Moving on to the last upgrade that I've made is these two contacts, which we can connect the cables directly, and no more fiddling around like the last one where I had some grooves in which I had to put the cables and it was very fiddly and not that good. Now everything should be way easier and way faster to assemble and disassemble the connections. The weapon system is very similar, with only a few changes. One of them being that compared to my last one, you can see no more syringes. That's because now we can create pressure and we have no more leakage, and this means that we can store much more gas in a smaller area. And so we will have explosion just as, or even if not more powerful than the last weapon system. Also, I've made a new arc reactor, a new repulsor, which I'm going to show in next. Also, I've isolated every nook and cranny. I've isolated it even better than before. So now we actually don't have anywhere from where the gas can escape. So this system is actually way simpler, but way more powerful than the last one. Now let me show the repulsor. So the repulsor is actually extremely similar to my last version, only that I've used some 3D printed parts to make it more aesthetically pleasing. So you can use the other version, the older one, and it will still work the exact same. All that I've done is print some ASA covers to put over everything so that it looks better. As you can see, we still use a can from soda as the base. And also I've changed the strapping to be made out of TPU and also an elastic band so that it can form better to your hand compared to the last one. And everything fits nicely with the cap over and a nut to hold everything together. So I think it is time to test everything and see how much more powerful is this system. For the electrolyte substance, I'm going to use some distilled water, and because distilled water doesn't allow current to go through it, you need to add one more thing, which can be salt, soda bicarbonate, or caustic soda. you can have a bunch of options. So here we are not limited. And also my system uses 200 milliliters of water and can produce around 300 liters of hydrogen and oxygen, which is a punch considered to the 200 milliliters of water. So as you can see, I have here the substance. It's around 200 milliliters, a little bit more. And this can create even 350 liters depending on how efficient the system is. And for the American audience, that should be around 80 gallons. And all of that can be used in the suit. So I've already poured the substance in. I had to do it with two hands, so I couldn't film it. Also, I've connected my trusty power supply. When everything will be mounted onto the suit, we will use a battery, but until then, I will use this power supply. And as you can see, we have 4 volts and a current of 7 amperes of maximum current. But also, you will see that we will not use all of those 4 volts because it doesn't need that much. So, we're gonna power the suit and make sure that it creates gas, and then we can start and play around with some of the weapons. So as a first test, to help you visualize the amount of gas that this produces, is to put it in a soapy water so we can see the bubbles form. Okay. So this is how much gas is produced. Okay, enough. Let's pop these last bubbles, and next you're moving on to these weapons. I've closed that one. I have here connected this system. I also have some noise cancelling earphones for better protection. Let's turn this system on. We leave it a little. Even this, I think it's enough. We open this one. We heard the gas rushing out. We close that one. We close this one, and now let's see. As you heard, there was a small explosion, but this means that we need to add more. So let's leave it more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 should be enough. So that one was opened, it is closed. Let's see. For 10 seconds is all that I've left it. Okay, now for the repulsor, I actually have bad news. I have been testing it for the past half hour and I cannot make it work. I don't know why. So I'm gonna have to take one more look into this. But for now, let's enjoy the rocket launcher and let's set up some targets to see how powerful is it. Now I'm going to test different quantities of gas compared to one piece of cardboard. And also I have my telephone set to record the slow motion video so we can see what happens. So, as you guys just saw, the projectile even in slow motion moves extremely fast. Even the explosion can be seen in only a few frames. So, I do believe that this has a punch of power, only that the projectile is made out of plastic and weighs almost nothing, and that makes it leave only a dent. But if you use a larger projectile or something heavier like metal, we can leave some heavy damage. So, yeah. But this was all for today. I do wish that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please leave a like and maybe subscribe for more projects like this. Otherwise, have a nice day.